So, yeah. Honestly, I don't even know where to start with Kiro AI. You ever get those random invites like months after you put your name on a wait list? That was me, just chilling. And then out of nowhere, I get this email. Hey, you're in, and I was actually kind of excited. There's been all this buzz, new IDE, solo devs, built-in AI, people saying it could replace Cursor or Claude for indie work. For a second, it almost felt like, yeah. Anyway, fast forward to last weekend, I cleared my schedule, well, as much as a solo dev ever actually does, and decided, let's just live in Kiro, not just poking around, but really building, breaking stuff, seeing how it holds up if you're treating it like your main tool. I'll just say this up front. This isn't some sponsored demo or a hype video or whatever. I'm not here to convince anyone. I just want to show you what actually happens when you use Kiro as a solo iOS dev, especially if you're used to SwiftUI, Xcode, Cursor, Claude Code, all those AI tools we've been stacking up, and now apparently Kiro joins the party. But just real quick, I'm Daniel. I've been in the iOS trenches for almost 8 years, freelancing and shipping apps for other folks. But since Dub 25, I've gone full solo dev, started building in public, and yeah, kind of figuring out this personal brand thing as I go. More on that for another video. So, all right, let's talk about first impressions. When you open up Kiro for the first time, I'll be honest, it kind of feels like coming home if you've ever used Cursor or Windsurf. It's that same vibe, you know, this whole AI first code editor thing. But there's also something a little different in the air. I don't know if it's the UI or maybe just the ghost mascot, but it's got its own energy. So, yeah, Kiro does this thing where it splits your whole workflow into two modes, Spec and Vibe. And it's literally right there. First thing you see, I wasn't sure at first if this was just a cute gimmick or if it would actually change how you build, but honestly, after a couple hours, it kind of does. Vibe is, well, pretty much what it sounds like. If you've used Claude Code or Cursor, you'll get it. Just chat with the AI, throw it prompts, see what happens. Sometimes it nails your request. Sometimes it goes on a little tangent. There's this sort of AI as sidekick feel where you're just bouncing ideas, keeping it loose, sometimes even a little chaotic. And yeah, sometimes that's exactly what you need. But then there's spec mode. And this is where Kiro actually surprised me a bit. It's like, okay, imagine you took all those specs you write up for a feature, the docs, the user stories, the requirements, all the stuff that usually lives in a Notion page or, let's be real, a Google Doc no one ever reads. And you just let Kiro turn them into part of your workspace. Suddenly, your tasks and requirements aren't hidden away. They're front and center, baked right into how you work. It's more organized, less, let's just wing it and see what breaks. I don't know, it feels a little like having a grown up in the room, but in a good way. And yeah, visually, they really lean in. That ghost icon, the Cairo spirit, it literally follows you as you move through the code, showing you what the agent's looking at, what it's steering, which files it cares about. It's kind of like, hey, just so you know, this is what your AI is paying attention to right now. It's neat. It actually makes you feel like you're working with the agent, not just yelling into the void, which if you've ever used a generic AI code tool, is a big deal. So, first impressions? Yeah, it's familiar, but it's also got its own twist. It feels a little more opinionated, and I think that's a good thing, at least if you're the kind of dev who wants a bit more structure. And sometimes I definitely need that. All right, let's just get straight into how I actually tested Kiro because you can't really judge a new tool unless you throw something real at it. So for me, that was my app, Scrollcraft. Quick aside, if you haven't seen it, it's just this little SwiftUI playground where you can preview scroll transitions, copy code, try out all those little animations without wasting an hour inside Xcode. Nothing huge, but just enough moving parts to make an AI sweat, honestly. So, yeah, first thing I did, because the way I like to do was hit that let Kiro inspect your project button, which, if you've ever used Claude Code, is basically their version of /init. You don't have to explain anything or paste in a wall of context. You just push the button and let Kiro wander through your files for a minute. And then out of nowhere, it's like, boom, here's 3 brand new markdown files sitting in your project: product.md, structure.md, and tech.md. And this is where it got interesting, because the docs Kiro spit out, they weren't just some generic surface level summary. It actually went through my real PRD, my doc.c folder, all those little notes I've been hoarding. I could tell it didn't just make stuff up, it actually read what was there. So if you're the kind of dev who never writes docs, honestly, this feels kind of magical. You suddenly have structure, and it's actually your own stuff reflected back at you. But yeah, here's where it got a little funny for me, because I'm the guy who already writes a ton of documentation, like way too much sometimes. So after a couple minutes, I started thinking, man, this might actually be overkill. There's this feeling like, wow, maybe I don't need every single thing mirrored back to me in yet another .md file. But honestly, if you're not as obsessive about docs as I am, it's pretty slick. Just one of those wait, this actually works moments. And also a little, okay, maybe pump the brakes on the documentation, Daniel. But hey, better too much than too little, right? So here's where things get interesting. That whole spec mode, man, it's honestly where Kiro starts to feel different from the other AI code tools. Every time you jump into spec, it's like Kiro just spins up this whole little world of markdown, task lists, requirements, design docs, you name it. Everything's organized, everything's tracked. It's like suddenly having a tiny, slightly obsessive project manager hanging out in your repo, making sure nothing slips through the cracks. Like, I'll give you a real example. I wanted to add Swift syntax coloring to Scrollcraft. Nothing huge, just pull in an SPM and wire it up. And I kid you not, as soon as I kicked that off in spec mode, Kiro created a brand new requirements doc, then a design doc, then an actual plan with steps and subtasks, all as markdown files. And then it's asking, hey, do you approve this step? Should I move on each session? It even makes a new folder. So yeah, you get receipts for everything. Honestly, it's kind of wild. There's this moment where you're like, oh, wow, I'm actually being productive. There's a plan, nothing's falling through the cracks. It tracks the plan, it splits up the tasks, and you can see the whole path from start to finish. If you're the kind of dev who's always cowboy coding, just hacking stuff together and hoping for the best, this is almost therapeutic. You can't not be organized, and it's a big but, if you're already the person who documents everything, like, yeah, guilty over here, suddenly you're drowning in .md files. I mean, sometimes I just want to get in, make a change, ship it, not stop an inventory every single micro task along the way. So for me, sometimes Kiro feels like that friend who's a little too into Notion, color coding their calendar and writing meeting notes for meetings that don't exist. There's a moment where it just feels like, okay, maybe I don't need to break everything down. Still, honestly, if you come from that just ship it mindset and your repo's a mess, it's honestly refreshing. Like, it really does keep you from falling into the classic solo dev trap of just building in chaos. But if you're already in the habit of keeping a living PRD or you already run your own playbook, it can feel a bit redundant. But hey, for some people, that's exactly what they need. And for me, sometimes it's a nice kick in the pants to actually slow down, even if it means my markdown folders looking a little crowded. All right, let's just talk about agent steering for a second because this is one of those features that actually made me pause and go, okay, maybe Kiro's onto something here. So basically, Kiro is always keeping tabs on what's actually happening in your project. It's got this live list, what files it's watching, which specs you're focusing on, your current goals. It's all out in the open. If you're used to something like Cursor or Claude, it's kind of like having a supercharged, always on system prompt, but with a UI, you can literally see what the agent's tracking. And, that's where I really started to appreciate it. Like, no more wondering, did the AI even look at the file I care about? Everything's surfaced. There's no magic behind the curtain. It's all right there. What Kiro's reading, what it's not, what it thinks matters for the next task. For once, I actually trust that the AI is paying attention to the right stuff, not just making wild guesses. And there's always a but. If you're the type who likes to manage all your own context, who's always juggling what's in your head versus what's on disk, sometimes it starts to feel like overkill. It's like, yeah, I know what's important, Cairo. You don't have to show me the whole stack. But if you're the kind of dev who gets lost in the weeds or just wants to offload some mental bandwidth, it's actually super handy. So I don't know. For me, this part actually felt like a win. Makes the AI feel more like a teammate, less like a black box. And honestly, that's kind of the whole point. Yeah, so here's where Kiro kind of reminds you it's still early days. Like for every moment where it feels like magic, where you're thinking, wow, this could be my new home base, there are these little bits of friction that pop up and snap you out of flow. Classic beta energy. First thing that stood out for me was just session length. So after a long back and forth, sometimes Cairo would just tap out and say, hey, can you summarize and start a new session? And it'd catch me off guard because honestly, it never felt like my chat was that huge. With Claude Code or Cursor, you've got stuff like slash compact that kind of auto summarizes as you go, so you barely even notice when you cross that line. With Kiro, it still feels a bit clunky. I really hope they smooth that out or just quietly roll it into the workflow. And yeah, agent over engineering is real. I get what they're going for, but sometimes it feels like Cairo wants to be my super organized project manager, and I just want to hack something together and move on. Suddenly, I'm sitting there with all these session folders, little .md files for every tiny thing, and I'm like, okay, this is cool, but sometimes I kind of miss the chaos. Cursor and even Claude let you get away with a little mess. Sometimes I need that. The other thing, no conversation revert. This one actually surprised me because I didn't realize how much I'd gotten used to it in Cursor. Like, you mess up a prompt or take the conversation in a weird direction, and you just roll back and try again. In Kirov, not so much, at least for now. I hope that lands soon because, man, it saves you when you're in the weeds. Vo, and just to be real, you're limited to Sonnet 4.0 or 3.5 for now. There's no GPT or Gemini or whatever. So if you're hoping to swap models or set up custom rules like with Claude AI and Claude Code, you're out of luck for now. But you can still pick what the agent's steering and edit files along the way, so it's not totally locked down. And so, yeah, it's got some rough edges, but honestly, show me an indie dev tool that doesn't, especially in early access, I just hope Kiro keeps listening and picks up some of the good habits from Cursor and Claude. We'll see. Yeah. So, who's Kiro actually for? Honestly, I think if you're the kind of dev who usually just spins up a new project with a empty folder, no docs, nothing, just vibes and code, Kiro is honestly kind of a dream. It organizes things for you by default. You don't have to think about it. You just get a clear structure. You always know what's happening, and you end up with way less of that prompt spaghetti, guessing what the AI knows or doesn't know. It's almost like guardrails for chaos, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. But, if you're already deep into your own system, like you've got your doxy game going, your PRDs are living and breathing, you're tracking tasks in 5 different places, Cairo's extra structure can feel a little heavy, but maybe that's not a bad thing either. Sometimes it's good to be forced to slow down, to write things out, to see your own process from a different angle. I don't know. There are days where even I need that nudge to not just cowboy my way through another feature. For me, the sweet spot for Kiro is honestly indie devs who are feeling buried by code sprawl where everything's everywhere, and you just wish there was one place to see what's actually going on. Or if you're a newer solo dev and the idea of tracking tasks stresses you out, Kiro just kind of takes that off your plate. And hey, if you love Markdown or wish your AI felt a bit more like Notion, but for code, that's basically the vibe here. But if you want the fastest, scrappiest, just go, just do it, I'll document later kind of flow, and you already trust your own process, yeah, it's still early days for Kiro. There's a lot of promise and the bones are really good, but it might not be the tool that lets you move at full speed, at least not yet. So, yeah, it's all about the fit. All right, so that's kind of my honest weekend with Kiro AI. Part breath of fresh air, part reality check that, these tools, AI or not, they're all about fit. What actually works for you, for your brain, for your process. No hype. If you're someone who loves having everything organized, you want your docs living in the repo, you like having a little extra help, just keeping your head straight, yeah, Kiro is actually worth a shot. Even if it feels like a lot at first, it might be the structure you didn't know you needed. But hey, if you're running a lean solo dev setup, super quick, barely any docs, just living that move fast, break things, fix later lifestyle, you might bounce off it. It's early days, and you can tell the team's shipping fast, but, it's not quite Cursor or Claude yet. Maybe it'll click for you, maybe it won't. And honestly, I'm curious, have you tried Kiro yet? Are you more of a Cursor person, or maybe you swear by Claude code? Or is there some other AI tool you're waiting to try, hoping it finally fits the way you want to build as a solo dev? Drop your stories in the comments or DM me on Instagram. I seriously love hearing how other indie devs are hacking their workflow, what's actually sticking, what's just noise. If this helped you at all, feel free to like, subscribe, share it with a friend who's also in the solo trenches. You know the drill. All right. Until next time, keep crafting, keep tinkering, and yeah, don't let those .md files get too out of hand. Peace.